Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, guys. Today we'll be reading yet another interesting story, which is called The Way of the Woods by T.Albert. So let's get started. Many years ago, deep in the North Woods, lived a great bear named Pow Pow. He was the strongest and the bravest bear alive and respected by all his forest creatures. One day, all the animals gathered around together to discuss some changes in the woods. A new animal that walked on two legs, was covered in strange fur, was making its home nearby. They needed a leader, and they could think of no one better than Pow Pow. They all marched to Pow Pow's cave and asked if he would be the next king of the forest. Pow Pow was thrilled, and even though he didn't know what being a king was all about, he gladly accepted. Pow Pow then said, "I will need some helpers, and I want Crowley Crow and Willard Weasel to be my advisors." Well, Crowley and Willard were honored, and they both agreed to work with King Pow Pow. One day, Slither the snake visited King Pow Pow and told him of a strange animal he saw close by. Pow Pow asked, "Where did you see this animal?" Slither replied, "It lives with strange, two-legged creature at the edge of our woods." Pow Pow thought for a moment and said, "Willard and Crowley, go to the edge of the woods and see what this animal is." Within moments, his two helpers were on their way. Some time later, Willard and Crowley returned and excitedly told King Pow Pow that there was indeed a strange animal at the edge of the woods. It was small, maybe the size of Bobby Beaver, and it had a strange barking voice instead of a yelp or a howl. All three sat for a long time thinking about the strange newcomer that lived so close to their woods. Finally, King Pow Pow said, "We must go and meet this animal." All three got up and left King Pow Pow's cave. In a short while, they were at the edge of the woods, watching the strange animal. King Pow Pow said, "Willard, go to the animal and ask what he is and why there's a rope tied around his neck." Without hesitation, Willard scampered across the field and hid behind some piled woods, close to the strange animal. "Psst," said Willard. The strange animal looked around. "Psst, I'm over here, around, behind the woodpile," Willard said in a loud voice. The strange animal stretched the rope as far as it would go, but not being able to see who was speaking, said, "Please come out so that I can see you. My master isn't around." Willard came out slowly from behind the woodpile and cautiously approached the strange animal. "What type of an animal are you?" asked Willard. "I'm a dog. My name is Dillard," he replied. "And what are you?" He then asked. "Me? I'm Willard, the weasel, representing King Pow Pow, the ruler of the forest." "Why are you bound to the stake into the ground?" asked Willard. "My master keeps me tied so I cannot go into the woods," replied Dillard. "No animal should be tied," Willard shouted. "I shall bite through the rope to set you free. You can then come into the woods and live with me." In one mighty bite, Willard set Dillard free. Then the two of them ran across the field and into the woods. After Willard introduced Dillard to King Pow Pow and Crowley, they all left. When they got to the center of the woods, King Pow Pow introduced Dillard to all other forest creatures. Dillard especially liked meeting Wayne Wolf and Carl Cote, who seemed to be his cousins. As the summer passed, King Pow Pow fattened himself on berries and salmon. Dillard and Willard became good friends. One day, Willard sniffed through the air. Oh, what a marvelous smell was being carried on the breeze! "Chicken eggs, fresh chicken eggs!" Willard thought to himself. "I must find them and have a snack." In seconds, he was off running through the woods and following his nose to his favorite treat. His nose led him to the strange creature's house, where he had first met Dillard. He looked around. All was clear. He followed the wonderful smell of eggs into a strange cave. He looked around and couldn't believe his eyes. There was chicken eggs, hundreds of chicken eggs all around him. As he reached for an egg, a chicken saw him and sounded the alarm. Soon all the chickens were clucking, squawking, and making a fuss. Then he heard something behind him. As he turned, he saw the strange creature that lived there, the one that Dillard called Master. There was no escape, and Willard was terrified. The strange creature looked at Willard and said, "You varmint, you are the weasel that set Dillard free. Why I ought to—" But before he could finish, Willard yelled out, "Wait! Don't do anything to me! I can return Dillard to you. Just let me pass, and Dillard will be back in a very short time." The strange creature stepped aside and let Willard free. When Willard returned to the woods, he ran to his friend. "Dillard, quick, follow me. I need your help." Well, Dillard didn't hesitate to help his friend, and off they ran with Willard in the lead. As they crossed the field, Dillard stopped. "What's wrong?" asked Willard. "My master lives there, and I'm afraid to go any further." Dillard replied. "Don't worry," said Willard. "Your master is not there." Again, Dillard followed Willard right into the cave with all the chickens. In a flash, the master had the rope around Dillard's neck. He then looked at the weasel, tossed him an egg, and said, "Thank you for returning my dog." Willard left for the woods without saying a word. Dillard remained within the farmer, making sure no weasel or any other varmint ever bothered his livestock. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button to see more further content. Thank you so much.